Good afternoon, distinguished guests. Welcome to the International Seminar on Debottlenecking channel, hosted by the Coordinating Ministry for Economic Affairs, the Ministry of Finance, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia.
We are very honored to welcome ambassadors and representatives of diplomatic corps, business leaders, chambers of commerce, development partners, members of the media, and also our guests for joining us this afternoon at Dana Pala Hall, Ministry of Finance of Indonesia.
As the program will begin shortly, we kindly invite all guests to take their seats.
And for the comfort of all participants, please ensure that mobile devices are set to silent mode throughout the session. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of the Republic of Indonesia, Indonesia Raya. Please be seated.
Excellencies, speakers, moderator, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, selamat siang, good afternoon to all of us.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just witnessed Ratoh Jaro, a beautiful traditional dance from Aceh.
Ratoh Jaro, meaning dance of 1,000 islands, 1,000 hands, I mean. It reflects the dance's signature synchronized movement, and it is also known for expressing the resilience and solidarity of the Acehnese people while showcasing the rich cultural heritage of Aceh.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are truly honored to welcome you to the
International Seminar on Debottlenecking Channel, Resolving Bottleneck, Accelerating Investment. Please allow me to acknowledge the presence of excellencies, ambassadors, and members of the diplomatic corps, our distinguished speakers, moderator, and also panelists,
distinguished Indonesian ambassadors and guests joining us virtually via Zoom. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
My name is Diah Rukmi Amarwati, and my colleague here,
Rianka Tiza.
we are from the Ministry of Finance, and it is our pleasure to be your MC this afternoon.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and also Amber. Today's seminar brings together stakeholders from across sectors to discuss practical ways to address investment-related bottlenecks and strengthen coordination to support economic growth.
And through the Debottlenecking Channel initiative, the government aims to provide a more effective way to resolve obstacles faced by businesses and also investors, and to reinforce Indonesia's commitment to a transparent and more conducive investment climate.
Precisely, Amber. Ladies and gentlemen, today's event consists of opening remarks and keynote addresses from senior officials of the governments of the Republic of Indonesia.
And the program will then continue with a panel discussion on the Debottlenecking Channel initiative to discuss efforts in strengthening coordination and also addressing investment-related obstacles in Indonesia.
And later, we will also present a brief case demonstration of the Debottlenecking Channel platform.
And excellencies, our speakers, moderator, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to officially commence this event, it is my honor to invite the Coordinating Minister for Economic Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia, His Excellency Bapak Airlangga Hartarto, to deliver the opening remarks and keynote address through a recorded video message.
Ladies and gentlemen, we kindly invite you to direct your attention to the screen.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Honorable Bapak Purbaya Yudisadewa, Minister of Finance, Bapak Arif Hasfas Oguroseno, Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs, esteemed members of the Task Force for Acceleration of Government Program to Support Economic Growth, distinguished ambassadors, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to extend my warmest welcome to all of you, and I would like to extend my sincere appreciation for the successful convening the International Seminar on the Debottlenecking Channel. Distinguished guests, the global economy in 2026 continue to face significant headwind. Nevertheless, Indonesia remains resilient, well positioned to sustain stronger economic growth, supported by solid domestic fundamentals. Indonesia probability of recession remain very low, below 5%, lower than US, Japan, Canada, And this highlights Indonesia economic resilience and capacity for growth despite rising global uncertainty. Indonesia economic fundamentals remain strong. First quarter grew by 5.61%. Inflation reduced to 2.42%, and consumer confidence remained robust. For 71 straight months, the trade balance has remained in surplus and backed by solid reserve and financial stability. To address this, President Prabowo Subianto has issued presidential decree on the task force for acceleration government program to support economic growth. One of the program focus on delivery and debottlenecking. The mandate of debottlenecking working group goes beyond administrative coordination. It focuses on delivering concrete solutions through debottlenecking channel that directly connect business concern with policy action. This channel serves three key functions. First, to capture and manage constraints in real time, recognizing that every delay in investment carries an economic cost. Second, it provides a dedicated and credible avenue for investors to raise concern directly, ensuring no issue is left unresolved. Third, it translates this impulse into actionable policy recommendations for the President or relevant authority to strengthen the investment climate. Ultimately, the objective is clear. An effective debottlenecking system sends a strong signal that Indonesia is not only offers market potential but also certainty in execution. Distinguished guests, by resolving debottlenecking, simplifying process and strengthening coordination through the debottlenecking working group and debottlenecking channel, we not only improve the business climate but also build trust, sending a clear signal that Indonesia is safe, predictable, and low-friction destination for investment. This is a critical moment. Amid global uncertainty, Indonesia can emerge as a bright spot of growth, but this will only be realized if we move quickly, act in unity, and ensure consistent execution. Let us turn these bottlenecks into wide-open channel for shared prosperity. I wish you all productive and insightful discussion in this seminar. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now move to our next agenda. And it is now my distinct honor to invite the Minister of Finance of the Republic of Indonesia, His Excellency Bapak Purbaya Yudisadewa, to deliver the keynote remarks.
Your Excellency, you may have the floor.
Saya baru tahu ada wartawan di belakang, jadi saya ngomongnya harus hati-hati. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon. Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Arif Hafaz Ugroseno, my senior in the coordinating ministry for Maritime Affairs. Your Excellencies, ambassadors, and representatives of friendly countries and the European Union, distinguished representatives of international organizations, chambers of commerce and business associations, distinguished officials from line ministers and government agencies, panelists, moderator, and colleagues. Ladies and gentlemen, we understand that to achieve a stronger and higher economic growth, Indonesia needs to increase investment and private sector participation. The contribution of government spending to our economy is only around 10%. The 90% of it is contributed by private sector. So without significant private sector participation, it is almost impossible to create economic growth of above 6%, while we know that our target is 8% by 2029. So we, the government of Indonesia, understand that we need to improve involvement of private sectors in our economy. So having a better business climate, credible investment policy, strong legal framework, and enforcement consistency are the key to improve the private sector involvement in our economy. However, we understand also the implementation of those areas still needs to be strengthened in a more practical and transparent mechanism. This is necessary for maintaining investor confidence in doing business and invest in Indonesia. The debottlenecking channel is a practical approach to achieve those conditions. So many people have suggested to me that I better improve the regulation framework in my country. But I told them if I start from the paperwork, improving the business, the regulation, I might miss the real condition that private sectors are facing. So my approach is the other way around. I listen from the private sector what their problems are, and we solve the problem. And eventually, we will improve the regulation also accordingly. So in my opinion, that is a better approach and the approach that will give a faster and better result, because we tackle problems, real problems faced by business community in our country. The President himself has put this issue to increase investment and to improve business climate as top priorities. This is reflected in the Presidential Decree number 4/2026, which provided strong legal basis of the so-called the Debottlenecking Task Force, which is chaired by the Coordinating Minister for Economic Affairs. So yeah, I am one of the vice chairman of that Debottlenecking Task Force. To achieve its mandate in resolving any obstacles found in the field of investment and business processes, we, on weekly basis, conduct a proceeding from reports that submitted to us from every businessmen that are facing obstacles in conducting their business in our country. And we solve, I think, every week we solve from 1 to 2 to 4 cases, and it has been smooth so far. We managed to swiftly remove the bottleneck. I believe 1 year from now, the environment climate in Indonesia will be much, much better than it is now. Yeah. With this, I ensure the effective and efficient mechanism to facilitate investors' concern on licensing and a smooth processes of investors' concern with regard to their investment and business in Indonesia. As for today, there are 142 complaints that have been submitted to this channel. 83 of them have been deliberated in an open and transparent way to the public, and 45 have been resolved. This deliberation is conducted on a weekly basis. So the deliberation apparently is very attractive. So many media are covering it live and broadcasting it live, and we are conducting this deliberation. This is improve the transparency of the process and ensure that nobody will shirk from the decision whenever the decision has been made. We're going to conduct this on a weekly basis and continue moving forward. So, ambassadors, businessmen who attend this meeting, should you face any problem in conducting your business in the country, please let us know. We will make sure that we will remove the obstacle as soon as possible, maybe in one proceeding or more, but we will remove it for sure. Indonesia understands that we need to have a much better investment climate to ensure that private sector can contribute significantly to our economic growth. With this, I encourage all investors from all over the world to confidently invest in a promising country of Indonesia. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your opening remarks.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, now we proceed to the next keynote remarks. It is our pleasure to invite the Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia, His Excellency Bapak Arif Hafaz Ugresono, to deliver the keynote remarks.
Your Excellency, you may have the floor.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good afternoon, Pak Menteri, Dr. Purbaya, Minister of Finance, colleague, excellencies, ambassadors, businesses, and different colleagues from different ministry. Let me first of all extend our thanks, Minister of Foreign Affairs, for this event, because we also have a Zoom online with many Indonesian missions abroad. Investors, I believe, before they enter into a country, they do market size analysis, they do labor cost analysis, they do legal certainty, they're checking on the infrastructure, and in many countries like Indonesia sometimes they are checking on which stamps, who is going to authorize the stamp, do we need another stamp in the future? So for us, this is what we call the value-added administration. And for us diplomats, ambassadors, I think we are quite used to these things. In diplomacy, I believe we have negotiations for months, 6 months, even years, and then we come up with a conclusion that both parties agree to continue discussions in the future. So, it's normal for us, for diplomats to do that. Now, this is a situation that we have to face today, especially Pak Menteri has mentioned about the current economic situation today. We are looking at weaponizations of economic relations. Technology is being weaponized, finance is being weaponized, energy is being weaponized, data is being weaponized, supply chains is being weaponized, even sustainability and standards are being weaponized. So with this uncertainty across the globe, with this new additional burden for investors, I believe today we are not only competing on tax, we are not competing on issue in relevance to facilities, land possibilities, or labor cost. We are competing on trust, predictability, efficiency, resilience, and also strategic positioning. Speed has become a very important aspect. Legal certainty, of course, has become a very important aspect. Regulatory coherence, infrastructure readiness, and I think in this context, debottlenecking is something that is very critical for Indonesia. As Pak Menteri has mentioned before, the process is transparent, open, with conclusive result. I think this is what it's all about. I don't think this is about deregulation. This is more about directions. This is more about where is the directions of your investments in Indonesia in the future, short term, medium term, also in the long term. Now, for us in the Foreign Office, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, economic relations, trade, investment is also part of our portfolio. We are part of the negotiations that gets provided SEPA between Indonesia and EU, or with Indonesia, with Switzerland and other country, and EFTA, with a couple of countries in Latin America, with Chile, with Peru, with ASEAN, of course. We have a lot of an FTA, and we've done analysis actually. The trade and investment before and after FTA signed. Many show trends of increasing, but the number is not as much as we would like to see. So I think in this context, the exercise of debottlenecking is very important for us, for Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Also very important for our embassies and missions abroad, because they are the one normally the first contact of engagement with foreign investors. So I think in this regard, discussion of today, bringing colleagues with Zoom online from different embassies and Indonesian missions abroad, and also with Your Excellencies today, we can actually later on trace the movement of particular investment. So if, for instance, an investment coming from one country in the Middle East or Europe or Latin America going to Indonesia, you can liaise with us, with Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Ministry of Finance. If you find challenges and problems, then we can bring this particular issue in the platform. So once again, I would like to close my short remarks by extending our thanks to the Ministry of Finance and the task force. It makes really our job in the Foreign Office with Kemlu is much easier. We can now find people who we can talk to, and we can also liaise the platform with our embassies abroad, so that they will further strengthen the flow of investment from abroad to Indonesia. So once again, congratulations and thank you very much, Pak Menteri, and we look forward to working with you and your team, and also with Excellencies colleagues here around the table. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Bapak Hafaz, for your remarks.
Our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we will now proceed with the official photo session. And for that, we would like to invite all of our participants here to rise from your seat and take the photo with us. Please rise in your seat. The photo will be taken from the stage area, and for the photographers, please take your position on the stage.
And we will do the photo session for at least 3 poses. For the first shot, please give us your best formal smile. On my cue, 3, 2, 1.
Maybe once more for the formal pose, Rianka.
On my cues, 3, 2, 1. And for the second one, perhaps we can make it a little warmer. Please raise your thumbs up. Okay.
Maybe once more for the formal pose, Rianka.
On my cues, 3, 2, 1. And for the second one, perhaps we can make it a little warmer. Please raise your thumbs up. Okay. Thumbs up, please. Okay, on my cues, 3, 2, 1. The last one, number?
Okay, maybe for the last one, we can, hold the thumbs up. We have the thumbs up. Okay, 3, 2, 1. We got it. Photographers? Okay, one more. Maybe for the third one, we have wave for the camera.
Wave for the camera, please.
Okay. Thank you very much. Please give a big round of applause for us today. Thank you very much, photographers. You may back to your positions. Okay, Excellencies, our speakers, moderator, our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we will now proceed to the main agenda.
As you mentioned, Amber, we will proceed to the panel discussion session. The discussion will focus on the implementation of the debottlenecking channel and on broader efforts to strengthen investment, governance, and interagency coordination. In this session, we are honored to have our distinguished set of panelists.
And for the moderator for this afternoon's discussion is Special Advisor to the Minister of Finance for Industry and Environmental Economy. Please join me in welcoming Bapak Michael Gautama to the stage.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Minister, Vice Ministers, and Excellent Honorables. I'd like to call our Honorable Ministers, Purbaya, to come to stage, and Vice Minister Hafaz. Thank you, two honorables. Please sit down, Pak. No, sit down. Again, thank you to all of you. It's been a good day today. Today's theme is, I give a theme first before we can discuss with our two honorable ministers here. The theme is debottlenecking of debottlenecking. The elephants in the room, people asking me why there is a task force. There's been hundreds of task forces. So what is the difference today? The difference is, today is, number one is the leadership. Our president has very strong leadership, supported by leadership of Purbaya and the team, Bhakti and Menkeu Economy, now Foreign Ministry enjoying us. The second is, we have the tools now, tools of budgeting, finance, and the asset of the analysis skill of the team. So, like Pak Minister said, we are working from the other side, from a private sector side, not from a top-down policy side. The third is the spirit of the team. As the Minister said, we have been working the last 6 months. We have solved about 25 to 30 billion dollars investment. So it's quite effective. President acknowledged that. We have a good track record. So conventional fiscal monetary policy investment is really good, but Minister always say we need to work in the systems to make things work. Besides that, we're working on our ICO, in incremental capital output ratio, very strongly to push our economic growth. Having said that, I lay out the platform. To warm up, Menteri, I'll ask you one question, his question, and we'll open to the floor.
Oh, so let's go to the floor.
Yes,
directly.
Go to the floor. Is any questions or comment you want to
He's
ask
going
to
to ask
ministers?
too many questions. Like
Any? Yes, Ambassador, please. Yes, please. Can you state your name and the questions? The mic. You can show.
Okay. Thank you. Hello. My name is Olivier Zender. I'm the Swiss ambassador to Indonesia. I would like to congratulate you for this event. I think it comes at a very good time.
Please.
Switzerland, as an EFTA member, has a SEPA with Indonesia. We're working hard on its implementation, and there are improvements to be done to increase the rate of its implementation. The other element about Switzerland, we always present Switzerland as a trading nation, but it's more of an investing nation. That means normally Swiss companies, they start trading, and then when the conditions are appropriate, they will invest. And I think we can also work more in this sector. We have about 150 companies here. My question is just very simple. I am representative of a private sector. Where is the point of entry? To whom do I come if I have issues? Okay, we have companies coming saying, okay, we're interested to invest quite substantial amounts. Where do we go to? Do we go to the line ministries? Do we go to the finance ministers? Do we go to the economic ministry? That's just a simple question.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you very much from Switzerland. It's a very good question. We've designed this task force to be as transparent as possible, and we want to receive as much inputs or complaints as much as possible also. So for that, we have created a special website that you can deposit your complaint to us. We will announce the special website later on, yeah. So every businessman from Switzerland or from everywhere can submit, can deposit their complaint to that website. Of course, the complaint has to be a bit complete to the extent that we have to be able to contact back who is reporting and to discuss further what kind of problem that they are facing. So in the deliberation, we can already prepare better. So the deliberation will be effective, ya. Udah diumumin ke publik ya? Apa namanya? Publik boleh apa? We'll announce, we'll provide to you the special website that we have created. And since you mentioned about SEPA, if the implementation is slow, let me know also. I will push everybody to work hard. I'm more powerful than my previous position because now I have a budget power. Any minister who slow down every process that we are facing, I can reduce their budget.
Thank you, ministers. Maybe Vice Minister like to add more on that.
Yeah, I just want to advise companies. This is my experience as ambassador in Brussels and Berlin. In both assignments, the economic team in the embassy, we help investors going to Indonesia from the get-go, from the beginning. So we monitor what the problems are, who should we call, who should we discuss to domestically in Jakarta or in the regions where the investments are going to take place. And along that chains of communications, if something breaks down or if something not working, then the embassy can monitor it. So now I think now we have this system, which is very good, and of course we still have the embassy abroad. So I would strongly recommend that any investments coming from abroad, you could liaise with us in the embassy coming to Indonesia. See, the problem sometimes some of the investors believe that they can do it by themselves. They have consultants, they pay a lot of money for consulting, then something happens, then they come to us. There are companies like that, and we told them that we're wasting your money in consulting. You can just consult with us. So I think now you have a streamlined process. So Ambassador, hopefully, if the question arises from Switzerland, you can either go directly to the website or you can work with us with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs or the companies can already start discussion from our embassy in Bern.
Thank you, Pak. Minister, have
I may add something. This special task force is quite powerful because the members are not only me. It includes almost every ministry in this current cabinet. So, for instance, when a Japanese company impacts face some problem and we deem it is significant and necessary, we have created a sub-special task force in our task force to act as a one-stop service for them. They can come to that sub-task force and they will handle everything from permit and everything. If your companies are facing confusing in conducting business in the country, in my country, we can also set up a special sub-task force like that. So don't worry investing in country. Just let me know what your problems are.
Thank you, ministers. Thank you. Others questions? No questions? I will ask, but I'll ask you. No more questions on the
Okay,
floor.
thank you very much.
No, I will ask you one
Oh,
question.
you will ask me.
Yeah. We aiming 8% growth. Today we 5.6. Today, I'll point out two numbers to you. Our investment portion of the world FDI is about 2 or 3% only, our market share. Singapore about 8 or 9%. So we have a upside room there to grow. So this part of the activities. The second numbers I'd like to point out before I ask the questions is how efficient our economic system, which is measured in ICOR, incremental capital output ratio. We need $6.4 to increase $1. And if we can improve that to, say, 5, we can get low-hanging fruits of 1 to 2% in GDP growth. One area is a logistic. So now my question to you is, being a minister of fiscal finance, what can you do using the tools that you have to improve the ICOR, therefore improve the growth and industrialization is both simultaneously taking place and impact is almost immediate? Thank you.
Well, the first thing is to improve business climate, improve efficiency. That, of course, will reduce the ICOR automatically. But as a Minister of Finance, I cannot really go into other sectors into detail because other ministers are controlling those sectors. That's why we have created this special task force to make sure that I can intervene legally. With this special task force, I can improve the logistic condition in my country, not through the Minister of Finance, but through the task force. I'm still waiting for reports from a businessman in the country that concerns of logistic problem. Until now, there's no report related to that. But as soon as there's one report related to that, I'll be able to intervene directly. Please, if you are facing a logistic problem, let me know through this task force.
Thank you. Thank you, ministers. Any other questions? No? Oh, you have some comment, Pak Hafaz? Sir, Your Honorable, please.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Abdul Al-Dahri. I'm the ambassador of Uni Arab Emirates. I've been here in Indonesia for the last maybe around 6.5 years. I will just wanted to highlight the business environment, like when Indonesia calls for FDI, seeping into the Republic of Indonesia, allowing international investors to come over and invest. They are often faced with tremendous amount of regulation or regulatory hurdles, I would say, makes it a little bit difficult for them to understand the overall business environment. I'm not trying to be pessimistic here, but we are trying to work together to make sure that FDIs, when they come and seep in Indonesia, they are also creating value and creating a win-win situation for Indonesia and for those investors. I will give one example. The same example have went through in the USA, the same investor, and the same time, that particular investor came to Indonesia with the same value of $5 billion US, did not go through. I see here, it is a good and music to my ear for sure. Resolving bottlenecks, this is great. And I think this is one way that Indonesia is working toward the right direction to help investors to be able to create value for both countries. Means, here I'm talking about UAE and then Indonesia for sure. My understanding would always be Indonesian environment or business environment should at least make sure that it is very attractive. Business environment makes it a little bit seamless when it comes to businesses and businessmen talk to different ministries. But at the same time, to make sure that value is very well created, then I think one particular entity should look at the overall benefits. Means not only look at, if it is an industry, then we should look at the cost of fueling to make this particular factory operational. But at the same time, we have to look at the overall benefits that would be created, job opportunities and others. So I think this is what I'm trying to mention here. Means it is not only the regulation, it is the overall benefits that would create in order to have this particular project successful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable.
Well, thank you very much for the comments and question. I've been to your country maybe 4 times. I met your Minister of Energy, Sukhail, in 2019, together with ADIA chairman, also with ADIA, one of Hamed from ADIA. With him, we created our first sovereign wealth fund, the Indonesian Investment Authority. Initially, it was designed to be run by both of us, where managements from overseas can also work in that company. But apparently, when I left the Ministry of Maritime Affairs, they changed a bit. But still, we have got a good relation with UAE, where I think IDEA invests more than $2 billion in the country right now through Indonesian Investment Authority. Well, I thank you for that. Yeah. Please continue to support our investment in the future and continue to support our growth. I agree with you. We need to get a system approach. But right now, we have a lot of endeavors to create such a climate. We have created a one-stop services, right? On paper, that is the approach that you mentioned. But it doesn't work. On a regulatory basis, it's a perfect entity. Everybody can come and report every investment plan to that entity, but the implementation is still slow. That's why we created this bottlenecking task force. You can even report to us a one-stop service. If it doesn't work, I can intervene through this task force. But yes, Indonesia needs to create a systemic approach, so that we can really improve the investment climate in a much faster way. But I'm not that new to that kind of approach. In 2001 or 2002, if I'm not wrong, Hyundai owners came to us, 2000 probably. Before that, he told me that he want to bring some of their manufacturing facility to Indonesia. In my office, I created a special task force. In 4 months, they reported to me, in 4 months, they groundbreak their project in the current Hyundai facility in Cikarang. Yeah. In 4 months, yeah. So Indonesia can expedite any investment program or project that all of you have, all of your investors have in the country, in my country, as long as you go to the right channel. Now we are creating this special channel for all of you. So please use this channel. If you think that, let's say, you want to invest, your companies want to invest in my country and things, you're still confused about any regulations or are facing obstacles in conducting or implementing your investment plan, let us know. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ministers. First, to add, I'd like to call those in the Zoom. Currently, we have 126 our representative embassy and consul general offices in the Zoom. Anybody want to ask questions in the Zoom?
There's no question.
No question in the Zoom. Okay, yes, the honorable ambassadors, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Denis Shaibi, Dubes Uni Europa. First of all, thank you so much for organizing this. Second, let me use this opportunity to congratulate President Prabowo on his leadership, because with the EU we negotiated 10 years for the CEPA, and really there was a very strong drive that allowed for the completion of negotiations. So thank you very much. Now, CEPA will certainly be a very positive signal for EU investors, but we need more. And if we look at the last time that there was a kind of surge of EU investment, is when Indonesia promoted the Omnibus Law. And this brings me to structural reform. I've paid very careful attention to Vice Minister Ogrusono's speech. This is not about deregulation, but about direction. But will there be structural reforms put forward? That would be a very powerful incentive. And if there are structural reforms, which one would you publicize today as something that is in the offing and which will make a difference for European investors? Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador.
I'm not sure what your question is. Structural reform. Basically, we are trying to reform everything right now. The best that we can, using the current information that we have in our hand. Well, one of the problem in, let's say, for the textile industries is that we don't have access to cheap financing because our banking system has claimed that sector is a sunset sector. So banking sectors are very reluctant to provide lending to that sector. So what structural reform that I can do? I cannot force the private banking sector to give loan to the sector, right? So I'm using my certain arm. I have a Exim Bank. It's under my control. I will force them to provide cheaper liquidity or more affordable liquidity to the textile sector, so they can compete, so they can renew their machinery and compete better in the global market. And we are conducting downstreaming in many mining sectors, natural resources sector. One of them is, of course, battery, which is related to battery is related to one of our mine product, that is nickel. Once I read from an economist, weekly economist, and they said that it's impossible for Prabowo to attain his dream of battery superpower in the world, because China is not using nickel anymore, something like that. So to make sure that our nickel is still prevail and our battery dream is still here, early next month, I will launch a special incentive for car industry, for EV cars that use nickel-based battery, something like that. That's one structural reform that we are conducting. But we are conducting many structural reform, including downstreaming in the CPO industry. We will provide in the future probably some taxes on raw CPO export and some incentive for downstream CPO product, something like that. Or invite companies from your area to invest in my country to produce downstream product based on CPO. That is one structural reform we are conducting right now. We are moving not to exporting raw materials, but more to downstream products to create better value added for my country. And there are a lot of structural reform that we are still conducting. One of them is the one that I mentioned to you. For industry also. So far, we don't have industrial policy. We are going to think about creating one. It's not scattered about. We will create a comprehensive industrial strategy moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Minister. Vice Minister, have some comment on that, please.
Yeah, I just want to add what Pa Menkeu was saying, and also add my own assessment. In my engagement with many different countries, since 35 years ago, I became a diplomat. Many people complain, many investors complain about Indonesia, that it's complicated, red tape. But let me put it the other way around. How many countries in the world that has population of 280 million people, democracy, multi-ethnics, living in a country as size of Indonesia, with regional autonomy that is very strong? You sink that in a little bit in your thinking. Maybe there is none. India is a continent. Brazil is continent. Nigeria is continent. More or less the same population. Archipelagics, probably the Philippines, but not 280 million people. With robust regional authority, where sometimes central government has different matters with local government. And as a matter of fact, when we talk about, when I was a junior diplomat, I was often schooled by a colleague from democracy who said, if you guys in Indonesia become democracy, we will invest. So we became democracy, you invest to somewhere else, not democratic. Yes? It's a fact of life. I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you what it is. So I think what we are trying to do today is using leverage that we have in terms of leadership, in terms of tools, so that we can be able to expedite the process, facilitate the process, to ease the process of foreign investment in Indonesia. So I think that is a key that Pak Menteri mentioned about leveraging, what the Ministry of Finance has in terms of leveraging. And also I would like to very much implore you to look at the condition of Indonesia. We are not a normal state. We are a civilization state. I mean, that's what we are. So it's not a normal state situation where population is small, easy to manage. We're much more than that. Maybe not more, we are just different. And I think in that context, this effort is a way to work with everybody to make things easier, better, and hopefully faster and in a clear direction where we are going.
Thank you. Thank you. With the two ambassadors' questions and the answer, I'd like to put into the pictures. So we do have a system, your honorable system, especially for business and investment. Minister mentioned about our BKPM OSS system, one-stop shop system. And the foreign minister have an economic diplomacy system. It's all interconnected. So the debottlenecking channel, debottlenecking of the debottlenecking channel is become an effective tool onto a phenomena we call entrainment. It's aligning the rhythm of all this system. That's why the team is working on under leadership of the president. It shows works and show results. And hopefully by next year you can see more effective investment implemented. The investment are those that is on productive side. When you put money on the asset, those are not counted in investment under our GDP calculation anywhere in the world, GFFC, right? So this is the system that is put into working by adding an entrainment element under the leadership of President and of course the team of task force. And all this system, foreign minister is part of that. I think it will look more promising and effective soon. So we have a question, I think, from Zoom. Is the ambassadors? Ambassadors, Zoom, please unmute and Bapak dari mana, Pak? Please, the Paris. Ambassador from Paris. Yes. Pak Omar, yes. Pak Omar, please.
Terima kasih. Selamat siang, Pak Menteri, Pak Memen. Izin menyampaikan ini dalam bahasa Indonesia. Pengalaman kami di sini, Pak, pertama terima kasih atas acara ini. Yang kedua, platform ini tentu akan sangat membantu. Namun kalau dari pengalaman sebelumnya, sukan dari Pak investor maupun calon investor, forum semacam ini bisa membantu, namun ad hoc. Sementara beberapa investor ingin lebih pada predictability, sehingga rencana investasinya bisa diperkirakan berjalan sesuai program perusahaan mereka. Sebagai catatan, selama tahun-tahun bertugas, kami mencatat 11 perusahaan Prancis yang masih selalu dalam posisi in waiting karena prosesnya ada yang 3, 2, 1 tahun masih pending terkait beberapa kendala peraturan dan peraturan yang umumnya di ujung proses masih memerlukan panen, masih memerlukan pres, itu yang dianggap kekurangan predictability.
Thank you, Pak. We understand. our guest here is speaking English, Pak. So maybe I'll rephrase your comment. Your comment is basically on beside on the investment task force, we need the predictability, and there are cases that is in the channel right now. Maybe Pak Minister, you want to comment on predictability element?
Thank you very much for the comment and question, and worry and doubt probably. That's why we've created this special task force. Pak Dubes, should you still find some businessmen in France that or their business process has been slowed down significantly so far in in Indonesia, let me know. We'll tackle it. That's why we have created this task force. This task force is created to solve the problem like that. Yeah. This is interministry task force, so I can jump from one minister to another minister to solve every problem that your investors are facing. Just give me the list. I'll invite them to the proceeding and make sure their problems will be solved as soon as possible.
Thank you, ministers. Thank you, Pak Ambassador Omar. Thank you for your comment question. Please give us the list and or contact the website. We are here to help you, support you. Thank you. Any other more? If not, we have another panels. If not, Pak, with that, I like to thank Pak Minister and Vice Minister. Thank you so much for your half an hour Q&A. Thank you, Pak.
Your Excellencies Bapak Purbaya and Bapak Hafaz, thank you for joining with us this afternoon. It has been a privilege to have you with us, and we truly appreciate your valuable remarks and insight. Your Excellencies Bapak Purbaya will now proceed to the next agenda, a brief engagement session with the media.
Meanwhile, our distinguished guests and also all the participants in the hall are kindly invited to remain seated, as we will shortly continue with our next agenda, which is the panel discussion with our panelists, and also led by Bapak Michael Gautama.
Thank you.
Jadi ini acara ini memperkenalkan ke dunia internasional. Tes. Jadi acara ini gue punya dosa kayaknya, jadi langsung mati. Jadi acara ini diadakan untuk memperkenalkan ke investor internasional lewat dubes-dubesnya maupun dari mungkin beberapa bisnis community yang datang ke sini untuk menjelaskan bahwa kita punya debottlenecking task force yang bisa memecahkan problem mereka dengan cepat dan murah karena itu yang pertamanya. Mereka mungkin masih ragu ini efektif apa enggak, tapi saya sudah bilang ke mereka ini efektif karena kita lintas kementerian, dan di samping itu saya punya kekuatan anggaran. Karena ada kementerian yang lain kadang-kadang lambat, ya saya bisa kasih anggaran, atau saya kurangi anggarannya kalau tetap motor. Daerah juga sama, daerah juga saya kan masih mengendalikan transfer ke daerah kan. Jadi daerah juga harus mengikuti kebijakan yang pro investasi, pro pertumbuhan di daerah sendiri. Kalau enggak ya kita warning lewat bisa mensesnek, bisa mendagri dan lain-lain. Tapi kalau masih ngotot juga bisa kita potong juga TKD-nya, itu kira-kira.
Ya, tadi juga ada dari perwakilan asing, beberapa duta besar tadi datang. Ada beberapa duta besar asing yang tadi juga diskusi dengan kita. Kita juga mengundang perwakilan kita di luar negeri, dari lebih dari 100 perwakilan luar negeri yang ikut dalam acara tadi. Jadi juga tadi ada engagement atau diskusi dengan dubes kita di Paris. Tujuannya tentunya kita ingin memberikan informasi pada investor dan juga duta besar asing di Jakarta dan juga duta besar kita di luar negeri bahwa ada satu upaya baru membentukkan task force dari disampaikan oleh Pak Menkeu, dan dalam task force ini segala proses investasi oleh mitra kita di luar negeri di Indonesia diharapkan bisa berjalan dengan cepat, dan kalau ada kendala bisa segera dibahas dan diselesaikan dalam waktu yang singkat. Itu aja.
Pak, boleh dielaborasikan kita dari perwakilan yang asing datang penting, misalnya ke Pak Wamen atau Pak Menteri, soal apa ketakutan mereka terkait dengan hambatan mau investasi ke Indo dan lewat debottlenecking, boleh dielaborasikan Pak?
Oh, tadi mereka bilang ya mereka sih kayak ini sih menghargai ya. Cuma mereka bilang yang problem mereka hadapi adalah kadang-kadang mesti kementerian ini pusing, di pingpong juga karena kesini. Terus dari Perancis, saya bicara Perancis bilang juga sama, ada bisnismen mau investasi di sini, izinnya sampai setahun belum keluar katanya. Bukan satu, banyak katanya. Ya, saya bilang ke mereka, laporan saja ke task force, kita akan bereskan dalam waktu singkat. Siapa bisnismen ini, siapa aja, ininya apa, seperti apa, yang kita akan beresin. Jadi memang mungkin mereka belum tahu task force seperti apa dan kerjanya seperti apa dan hasilnya seperti apa. Saya yakin nanti ke depan kalau mereka sudah merasakan manfaat dari task force ini, mereka akan mempromosikan bahwa investasi Indonesia akan lebih mudah dari sebelumnya. Gitu. Jadi itu harapan seperti itu sehingga kita merubah image kita di pasar di mata investor global yang biasanya kita terkenal kusut, sekarang tidak kusut lagi. Jadi kita akan serius bekerja di task force supaya semua keluhan yang masuk ke kita bisa bereskan cepat, dan kalau ada peraturan yang mengganggu kita akan minta ubah.
Dari tes 6 bulan kan ada sekitar percepatan sampai 30 billion dolar.
Iya, lebih dari 30 billion dolar.
Iya.
Jadi yang impact aja 22 billion dolar kan. Ada yang lain lagi, dan jadi cukup banyak tuh. Kita harapkan akan lebih banyak lagi yang dikerjakan.
Ya. Ya, kalau kita di Kementerian Luar Negeri kita menjembatani kepentingan investor asing yang biasanya dia ke kedutaan. Tadi kita sampaikan ke para dubes asing di Jakarta. Jadi sebaiknya idealnya ya investor asing itu sebelum masuk Indonesia mereka bisa hubungi kedutaan kita dulu, konsultasi dengan mereka, dan kemudian mencari partner, mitra, dan aturan-aturan yang clear dari Indonesia. Dan kalau ada persoalan yang perlu diselesaikan, ada titik-titik yang simbol-simbol yang tadi Pak Menteri sampaikan kusut, ya nanti disampaikan di kedutaan kita, lalu kita liaison dengan KBRI mereka di sini, juga dengan tim yang baru dibentuk oleh Pak Menteri. Dan juga dengan sistem yang diciptakan yang baru kan pakai website ya, jadi lebih mudah memasukkan data kapan persoalan di mana, sehingga kita di Kemlu bisa monitor perkembangannya dan juga membantu investor asing untuk push persoalan yang ada supaya lebih cepat selesai.
Oh, tadi ada pertanyaan yang menarik, mereka nanya salah satu dari Swiss ya, nanya kalau mau ngadunya kemana. Padahal kita pikir kita udah terkenal, rupanya enggak. Jadi saya bilang ke mereka nanti kan kita kasih informasi website mana yang mereka bisa taruh ke pengaduan mereka. Jadi kerjasama dengan Kemenlu amat penting sekali untuk menyebarkan ini ke kedutaan kita di seluruh dunia, sehingga investor yang mau masuk ke sini tahu harus kemana kalau mereka mendapatkan hambatan ketika melakukan bisnis di sini. Ini dampaknya akan signifikan sekali. Saya terima kasih Pak Wamen untuk dukungannya.
Terima kasih ya. Pak, boleh dikit dong Pak, mungkin di datang mungkin ada masih Pak, mungkin dari para asing yang udah mau masuk rencana nilai investasi di Indo itu gimana dengan adanya sebelum adanya debottlenecking ini Pak, potensi bisa masuk itu berapa sih Pak dari asing yang udah tercatat?
Wah, yang impact saja tadi nggak jalan kan 20 miliar dolar. Nanti ada lagi suatu proyek di sekitar Sumatera mungkin yang sampai 40 miliar dolar yang udah bertahun-tahun nggak jalan. Kita akan jalankan dengan cepat begitu dia masukin misalnya. Mereka masih diskusi seperti apa ini ya. Ada beberapa kalangan yang bilang juga kami mau ngadu juga, tapi jangan di broadcast, malu katanya. Kita lihat nanti seperti apa kasusnya. Kalau emang nggak perlu di cover wartawan langsung ya nggak apa-apa, kita lihat. Jadi kita akan adjust aktivitas kita sesuai dengan permintaan yang ngadu nanti seperti apa. Tapi menurut saya sih lebih bagus di broadcast live langsung apa, karena transparansi di situ. Biar teman-teman sama masyarakat dan dunia juga tahu bahwa kita memecahkan masalah dengan serius.
Pak Purbaya, satu lagi Pak. Pak Purbaya, satu lagi Pak. Mungkin dari debottlenecking ini, apalagi kan ini juga udah sampai internasional. Apalagi tadi ada dari Paris ada sekitar 11 perusahaan Prancis yang mau masuk ke sini dan dari berbagai negara lainnya. Itu kira-kira berapa persen ya Pak? Kira-kira investasinya yang diperkirakan akan masuk ke Indonesia dan ini dampaknya akan dirasakan dalam berapa tahun ya Pak?
Berapa persen itu? Jadi kalau yang 11 tadi lapor, 11-11-nya pasti masuk. Kira-kira gitu. Tapi let's say mungkin 5% itu akan bisa realisasi dalam waktu yang nggak terlalu lama kalau mereka lapor. Tapi kalau mereka nggak lapor ya kita nggak tahu. Yang jelas begini, begitu investor asing mengetahui bahwa ada task force ini, mereka jadi tidak takut melakukan investasi di sini karena mereka tahu juga kalau ada hambatan mereka harus ngadu kemana. Ya hanya kan pusing, ngadu ke sini, pingpong sini, pingpong sini, pingpong sana, pingpong sana. Jadi mereka sama daerah, pusing, apalagi sama daerah. Sekarang kan saya baru tahu saya punya kekuatan kan mengendalikan anggaran daerah. Jadi pengguna yang mengganggu iklim investasi akan kita kasih disinsentif, kira-kira begitu. Jadi saya nggak ngomong aja, sekarang kita punya power sedikit untuk memastikan semuanya menjalankan hasil keputusan dari sidang di tim Debottlenecking ini. Jadi akan beda nanti dampaknya. Terima kasih. Terima kasih. Terima kasih.